Hey, it's Brian from Precision Nutrition. Imagine opening your fridge and seeing nothing but chicken livers, sausage, chicken breasts, steak, eggs, animal foods. Your mouth might be watering, or you might feel a little bit nauseous. Either way, the all animal foods diet, it's a thing. It's called the carnivore diet, and if you follow health and fitness trends, you've probably heard of it. Not surprisingly, it's a controversial approach. Some people believe that it can improve body fat loss, improve blood sugar regulation, and even improve mood. Others look at it and think, where are the vegetables, right? My head's about to explode. In this video, I'll show you what the research says about this approach, how to decide if it's right for you, and if you do decide to try it, how to do it safely. So, what is the carnivore diet? In essence, the carnivore diet is an all-animal foods approach. We're talking about things like red meat, pork, beef, chicken and other poultry, eggs, animal fats like lard and tallow, small amounts of low lactose dairy like butter and cream, and sometimes very small amounts of very specific fruits and vegetables. But why? Right? Carnivore diet proponents talk about eating in an evolutionarily consistent manner, or eating like our ancestors did, and avoiding toxic plant compounds. They propose that some plants contain substances that are not made for the human body. Let's break down these ideas. The available evidence to date shows that yes, ancient humans did eat meat, but what made up the bulk of their diet was whatever was available, what was around them. And the reality was, plants were much easier to come by and made up the vast majority of most hunter-gatherer intakes. And as for those toxic plant compounds, a common one referenced are lectins, which are found in grains and legumes. And yes, some people are sensitive to them. For example, they are in huge amounts in red kidney beans, so if you try to eat them raw, they can make you really sick. But so long as you prepare your grains and legumes properly, they're a non-issue for most people. Further, there is no scientific evidence linking the carnivore diet with good health. It's never been studied, so we don't have any long-term data on an all-meat approach. So why do some people get such great results on the carnivore diet? Fact is, people get great results on the carnivore diet for the same reason they get great results on other approaches, like paleo or Mediterranean, what have you. Because they all emphasize a lot of the same things: getting enough protein, eating mostly minimally processed whole foods, and discouraging a large amount of highly processed, hyperpalatable foods. However, there are a few reasons why the carnivore diet in particular helps some people feel better. The carnivore diet is so restrictive, it really functions like an elimination diet. You're removing many of the common food allergens like gluten, dairy, and soy. You're also restricting something called FODMAPs, or a type of carbohydrate that some people are sensitive to and that are common in grains and legumes. In addition, it's also restricting and eliminating highly processed, hyperpalatable foods. When people who are sensitive to any of those foods go on a diet that restricts them, they feel better. Not because there's anything magical about the approach, but it's because it's eliminating trigger foods and sensitivities that cause all kinds of problems for them. When it comes to losing weight, the carnivore diet can work, just like any other smart dietary approach. Not through any magical metabolic effects, but because it eliminates and restricts so many highly processed foods, which makes it hard to fill up on lots of protein, some fat, and a few fruits and vegetables. Those are very filling, and not too many people look for back-to-back surf and turf meals. Now, are there any risks to the carnivore diet? Well, yes, especially if you follow it long-term. Fruits, vegetables, and whole grains are rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals that are lacking in animal foods. Things like vitamin C, vitamin K1, phytonutrients, calcium, right, and more. Additionally, fiber, right? We need fiber to feed the healthy bacteria in our gut and to help us have regular bowel movements. Also, because it's so restrictive, the approach may be hard to follow long term, right? It can be difficult in social situations to only eat carnivore approach. It can be really expensive. And in general, research shows that when people try really restrictive diets, they slowly regress to the mean and start to add back things they're not supposed to eat. So it's most likely not very sustainable for most people. But what if you still want to try the carnivore diet? Or if you're a coach, you have clients who want to try it. While we don't recommend the carnivore diet per se, we do want to set people up for success, however that looks. So if you're really gung-ho on this, or if your clients are, here's a 3-step process to help you follow it smartly. Step 1. Check in with your healthcare provider. You should get clearance from your main healthcare provider first, because they may want to check things like your blood lipids, blood sugar, nutrient status, and markers of inflammation before and after you start this approach. Step 2. Start the elimination phase. You can follow the carnivore diet either in a modified way or a very strict way. The modified version would be all those animal foods we've talked about, plus a little bit wider variety of dairy options, in addition to some non-starchy vegetables and a little bit of squash and small amounts of fruit. Or the really strict version, which is all animal foods all day long. You would do this for about 2 to 6 weeks as a test and an experiment to see how you respond. Step 3. Reintroduce some food. After the elimination phase, you're going to systematically reintroduce small amounts of food and see how you respond. Day 1. Reintroduce one food and try it at a few different times that day. Days 2 and 3, eliminate that food. Day 4 and beyond. Well, it depends on how things went on days 2 and 3. If you felt great, mark that food down as being on your safe list and reintroduce another food following the same process. If you didn't feel so hot, mark down your symptoms and wait until they subside before you try this process again. Keep introducing foods and notice how you react. Of course, if you're enjoying the stricter version of the diet, you feel like it's fitting in socially, you like the foods, you don't feel restricted, your health and blood markers look good, keep rolling with it. Just make sure to check in once in a while and ask yourself, how is this working for me? Is it still fitting to the goals I started with? And is it continually moving me towards them? So whether it's a strict version of the carnivore diet, a modified version of the carnivore diet, or something else entirely, the point is to find an approach in a diet full of foods that feel good for you. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn even more about the carnivore diet, check out the link in the description below. The full article we provide includes a free downloadable PDF that includes a quiz that helps you determine if the carnivore diet is right for you and if it's working for you, a full carnivore diet food list, and more. Make sure to click the like button if you found this video helpful, and let us know in the comments about any other videos you'd like to see. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay on top of all of our videos. Nailed it. Look at that, first try. It's gonna be a good day. See, we're going downhill. We're going downhill fast, Eva. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Don't mind me. No trough of despair here. Oh, I cracked myself up. Oh my, my dog barked and it distracted me and then I failed. If I had done that in one take, I would have just walked off. It would have been the first time. There it is. Look at that, only 6 takes.